So, you're planning a trip to Rome? You're in for something unforgettable. In this video, I'll walk you through the must-sees, the hidden gems, where to eat, and how to soak in the real Roman vibe, all in a fun and simple way. Even if you've been before, trust me, there's always more to discover. Welcome to the Next Destinations. Let's get into it. Let's start at Piazza di Spagna, the Spanish Steps. It's always buzzing. Travelers, locals, students taking selfies, and street musicians playing guitars. At the foot of the steps is Bernini's Barcaccia fountain, a sunken ship design, and at the top, the Trinità dei Monti Church. The 138 travertine steps, built 1723 to 25, are Europe's widest staircase, and people love to sit here with a gelato or a coffee. From the summit, you get a view down Via dei Condotti, lined with luxury shops, and from the base you can glimpse the little obelisk in Piazza del Popolo. Just a few blocks away is the Trevi Fountain. It's massive, the largest Baroque fountain in Rome and always packed with crowds. Tourists line up to toss coins over their shoulder. Legend says 1 coin means you'll return to Rome. 2 coins, find a new love. The fountain's centerpiece is Oceanus riding a shell chariot, and the water glistens emerald green. This is an absolute must-see and a classic photo spot in the city. A short stroll brings you to the Pantheon, one of Rome's most astonishing ruins. Completed around 126 AD under Emperor Hadrian, it remains nearly intact. Inside is a perfect circular space, capped by the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome, with an oculus round opening at its apex. It's the best-preserved ancient Roman building. A temple-turned-church where, for example, the painter Raphael is buried. Outside on Piazza della Rotonda, you'll find cafes, artists, and locals relaxing in the shadow of those giant Corinthian columns. Keep walking and you reach Piazza Navona, one of Rome's most beautiful squares. It's built on the Stadium of Domitian, hence its long oval shape, and is framed by elegant Baroque palaces. In the center is Bernini's Fountain of the Four Rivers, topped with an Egyptian obelisk. Street artists, painters, and puppeteers perform here, and outdoor terraces offer spritz and gelato. Navona is always lively, a great place to sit and soak up the Roman atmosphere. Continuing southeast, you come upon the Colosseum and Roman Forum. The Colosseum is huge, an oval structure that held up to about 50,000 spectators. You can picture gladiators and lions on this arena floor. Nearby, you'll also see the Arch of Constantine and the ruins of the Palatine Hill. Few sights scream Rome more than the Colosseum lit up at dusk or glowing in the morning sun. Nearby on the Aventine Hill is a quieter spot with a sunset view. The Giardino degli Aranci, Orange Garden, offers an excellent view of the city. From here, you can see St. Peter's Dome and the city lights as the sun goes down, a local favorite for photos. Rome's art collection goes far beyond the streets. The Vatican museums, in the tiny Vatican City, contain world masterpieces. Michelangelo's painted Sistine Chapel and Raphael's School of Athens, among countless sculptures and tapestries. Closer in the city center is Galleria Borghese in Villa Borghese Park. Its galleries are filled with Bernini sculptures and Caravaggio and Titian paintings. Also on Capitoline Hill, the Capitoline Museums showcase Roman antiquities, like the bronze statue of Marcus Aurelius, and Renaissance art. But Rome's creativity isn't confined to galleries. Step into neighborhoods like Ostiense or San Lorenzo, and you'll find open-air murals and graffiti covering old factory walls. The city government even turned former industrial zones into real open-air museums of street art. For example, Ostiense's post-industrial vibe became a street art haven with colorful giant murals. In lively Trastevere and Testaccio, you might stumble on a retro film poster or a bold stencil. Every few blocks can feel like an outdoor gallery. For performing arts, catch a show at the Teatro dell'Opera di Roma. This grand opera house, opened in 1880 as the Costanzi, still stages world-class operas and ballets in Italian. Originally seating over 2,200, the modern house seats about 1,560 under its frescoed dome. Even if you don't speak Italian, an opera or ballet here, or a Renaissance play in a piazza, is an unforgettable experience. Food in Rome is a pilgrimage. By day or night, the historic markets and eateries are buzzing. Campo de Fiori, for example, hosts a daily market overflowing with fresh produce, flowers, and spices. Wander its stalls for olives, cheese, and prosciutto, then sip a wine or cappuccino at a nearby cafe. In the evening, the piazza transforms into a lively dining spot surrounded by pizzerias, trattorias, and gelaterias. Classic Roman cuisine is everywhere. Dine at a centuries-old trattoria and you'll taste dishes like cacio e pepe, cheese and pepper pasta, or oxtail stew. La Campana, founded in the 1500s, bills itself as Rome's oldest restaurant. Here they still serve heritage recipes. Think coda alla vaccinara, braised oxtail, and fried artichokes. In fact, La Campana has welcomed guests for over 500 years, making it a living piece of culinary history. But Rome's food scene isn't just about age. It's about flavor and local passion. Osteria da Fortunata is a must for hand-rolled pasta made right in front of you, especially their beloved Tonarelli cacio e pepe. Cantina e Cucina, near Piazza Navona, serves hearty Roman classics in a rustic, welcoming setting. For a quick bite, head to Al Antico Vinaio, the Florence-born sandwich shop that now draws long lines in Rome for its overstuffed focaccia panini. Another local ritual, gather for suppli, fried rice balls, and a glass of house wine at a cozy enoteca, or go straight to the source at Suppli, a no-frills spot in Trastevere entirely dedicated to the beloved snack. For a traditional sit-down meal, try Tanarello, a quiet gem near Termini serving authentic Roman dishes. When you need a sweet fix, grab gelato. Geliti, near the Pantheon, is a famous 1900s-era gelateria known for creamy pistachio and stracciatella. But you'll also find local favorites like Frigidarium, near Piazza Navona, is beloved for its rich handcrafted scoops and signature chocolate-dipped cones. Or try a maritozzo, a sweet brioche bun filled with cream, with your morning espresso. And don't forget espresso etiquette. Italians drink lattes, cappuccino, only before 11 a.m. Afterwards, it's straight espresso or a spritz. Need a green escape? Villa Borghese is Rome's grandest park. Rent a rowboat on its small lake near Pincio Terrace, stroll by fountains and statues, like the Temple of Aesculapius, or climb to the viewpoint above Piazza del Popolo. The Borghese Gardens are one of Europe's largest urban parks, blending nature with culture. Just inside the park is the Borghese Gallery, or stop for a picnic under centuries-old pines. For history amid nature, cycle along the ancient Via Appia. The surrounding Parco Regionale dell'Appia Antica is a sprawling 4,580-hectare archaeological park. You'll pedal past Roman aqueducts, mausoleums, Cecilia Metella's tomb, and early Christian catacombs along the 16 kilometers of original Roman road. It's like traveling back in time through pine forests and olive groves. Rome really lights up after dark. The historic center has many outdoor piazzas and lively streets of bars and pubs. In Trastevere, you'll find cozy taverns around Piazza San Callisto, locals mingle over cheap wine, and sidewalk clubs on Via della Lungaretta. One of the best and trendiest experiences right now is heading to Trastevere at night to enjoy the live street music in the piazzas, where singers perform iconic Italian and international hits. The crowd's favorite? Sarà perché ti amo, made viral again thanks to Instagram. Campo de Fiori is surrounded by cocktails and tapas bars. It hums until the early hours. The Testaccio neighborhood, near the ancient pyramid, is the clubbing hub, giant nightclubs in former slaughterhouses, and an outdoor folk meadow with DJ sets. Pigneto and San Lorenzo are known for hipster vibes and live music pubs, while Monte attracts a trendier crowd. Late-night pasta is a local rite. Some restaurants near Piazza Navona stay open after midnight. For a final drink, wander to a rooftop lounge with city views. No matter your style, Rome's mix of centuries-old taverns and modern clubs means there's always something to keep you out past sunset. Rome's calendar is packed with special celebrations. In February, Carnevale time, masked parades march down Via del Corso, and piazzas set up ice rinks and puppet shows. In spring, April 21st is Natale di Roma, Rome's birthday. Schools, armies, and costumed gladiators parade from Circus Maximus, and fireworks light the Tiber. June 2nd brings Festa della Repubblica, Republic Day, with military parades on Via dei Fori Imperiali and jets painting Italian flags overhead. In winter, the city turns magical. Early December, piazzas light up with Christmas markets. The one at Piazza Navona is a local favorite. Nativity scenes appear everywhere, and on Christmas Eve, St. Peter's Square hosts the Midnight Mass. Via del Corso and Piazza Venezia dazzle with light installations throughout December. Even if it's cold, festive atmosphere is warm and joyful in Rome. Throughout the year, you'll also find film festivals, art biennales, and many church feasts with processions. It pays to check the calendar. If you have extra time, there are many amazing trips around Rome. Vatican City itself, though inside Rome, can feel like a separate tour. Plan half a day for St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican Museums, and the Sistine Chapel. Just 30 kilometers east is Tivoli, home to 2 UNESCO wonders. Visit Villa d'Este for its Renaissance gardens and spectacular fountains. It's one of the most remarkable examples of Italian garden art. Nearby is Emperor Hadrian's Villa, a vast complex of baths, theaters, and pools. About 16 kilometers southwest of Rome lies Ostia Antica, the ancient port city. Its ruins are noted for the excellent preservation of its ancient buildings, magnificent frescoes, and impressive mosaics. You can wander long, wide streets through temples and markets, feeling as if Pompeii or Roman suburbia has been frozen in time. Head north into Umbria and you can visit Orvieto, about 1.5 hours away by car. This hilltop town has a stunning 14th century Duomo with colorful facade and the Sistine Chapel of Orvieto, frescoes by Luca Signorelli inside. In the countryside around there are vineyards and medieval castles. For something different, take the train to Naples, just 1 to 2H. From Naples, you can day trip to the ruins of Pompeii, the Roman town famously buried by Vesuvius, or to the Amalfi Coast. Florence is also reachable in about 1.5 hours by high-speed train. A long day, but doable to see the Duomo and Uffizi if you're ambitious. Whether it's mountains, medieval villages, or seaside towns, Rome's location means you can have worlds of difference just a short trip away. Rome has its own bucket list experiences. Sports fans can tour the Stadio Olimpico, home of AS Roma and Lazio, or time a trip for a Serie A match. Roman fans are passionate. History buffs might book an after-hours Colosseum tour or even a gladiator lesson in a nearby park. In summer, open-air concerts at the Baths of Caracalla combine music with ancient ruins. For a classic Italian night out, book tickets for an opera or ballet at Teatro dell'Opera. If you prefer musicals, the Sistina Theater often stages Italian productions of Broadway hits, like The Lion King or Mamma Mia in Italian. After the show, sip a limoncello on a rooftop bar looking at the Dome of St. Peter's. Foodies shouldn't miss a special dinner. La Pergola, the Cavalieri's restaurant, is the only 3-star Michelin in Rome, a temple of gourmet Roman cuisine with unforgettable views. For something more casual, consider a cooking class. Learn to make carbonara or gelato from a Roman nonna, or a nighttime food tour through Trastevere's backstreets. And of course, some experiences are just Roman. Join the crowd throwing coins in Trevi, wander the Christmas fair at Navona, or climb the Spanish Steps at sunrise. These everyday moments, sipping wine by a fountain, getting lost in a winding alley, are what make Rome uniquely enchanting. So, have you been to Rome, or are you planning your first visit? Which place are you most excited to see? Let us know. And if you enjoyed this tour, subscribe and keep exploring. There are many more adventures ahead.